welcome to the Hcast episode number 48. I hope you're all well.
Oh, we'll hit number 50 this time next week.
Ooh,
that's how math works.
Yeah.
Math
Just
is
in
cool.
case anybody out there doesn't know math.
I like math.
Psych, I'm not going to be here next week. No, I'm joking. I will be here. Anyway, so we're episode number 48 of the Hcast. This is, of course, your favorite, being Bolshy, live podcast show. Hopefully, maybe, where we talk all things pop culture, movie news, movie reviews, and a little bit of other stuff as well. We love it. And you guys seem to love it as well, as you seem to join us week on, week out. We've got a very interesting stream for you today. Obviously, you read the headline. The primary focus is Barbie versus the patriarchy. The patriarchy. I can't even get my words out. Sorry. I have not seen it. It's not out in the UK. Nick hasn't seen it because he's got better things to do. But Culture has seen it. So,
which means Culture doesn't have better things to do.
No, I'd never say such a thing. But our Culture has seen the movie Barbie. So we are going to be handing the reins over to him. We're going to be quizzing him, all things spoilers. You guys don't give a shit. I get it. So, but I've still got to do a spoiler warning anyway. But yeah, we're going to be delving deep into Barbie versus the patriarchy because I've read some spoilers. Yeah, I know. I quoted Culture in my latest video. He'd know if he'd watched it, and he hasn't, so he knows that I didn't quote him. And now he's just revealed himself as someone that doesn't watch my channel.
I don't think any of that's
but
true.
Anyway, we got some other stuff to cover as well. Master Universe being a bomb, Kevin Smith crying once more, Warner Brothers and Blue Beetle. Wow, what an absolute shit show that is. Refusing requests for reshoots because they know it's not going anywhere. It's dead done. And of course, going to round out with the cherry on top, a little bit of Disney, Indiana Jones being a bomb. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So we got an action-packed stream for you. Hit that thumbs up button on your way in. I don't care in terms of helping the video out. It's more for you. And hopefully YouTube notifying you that we're live because this video gets unlisted the moment I'm done. And then it goes up on the second channel. So few things out of the way. I know this sort of preamble goes on a little bit, but it helps. It's better than I'd rather do this chit chat than do a 5-minute long intro. 5-minute long intros are really good, however, for notifying everyone that you're live, but I'd just rather do a preamble instead. So, few things. Guys, this stream gets demonetized regularly. It is funded by you guys. You literally keep the lights on. You support the show, and your questions, comments, and super chats all, generally speaking, get put as their own videos. So if you want to support the show, you want to keep the lights on, super chats are the way to do it. Chuck in a buck, ask a question, we will get to them, and we love them. Some of these questions are amazing. So support your favorite podcast. Again, I'm being a bit of an ego. That's probably not, but if it is, support it. Please do check out everyone's channel, linked in the description box right now. You got Culture Casino, you got Nick from Nick Talks Entertainment, who doesn't have any content on there, but he will. He assures me.
It's some old content on there, but yeah,
we don't care about that.
Yeah,
hit subscribe on those two channels. Oh, that was a lot of fucking preamble. How you doing, guys?
Doing good.
I'm surprisingly well, but it took a lot of alcohol to get me there last night. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm doing good because I didn't see Barbie and didn't have to drink a lot of alcohol, so I slept fine last night. Didn't have any bad nightmares of plastic dolls coming to hurt me.
Good.
I'm living in a Pepto-Bismol shaded world, so I don't know.
Shade of that shirt you're wearing as well, I think.
It's bad. Very, very bad.
Yeah. All right.
No, I'm good. It was, to be fair, I mean, it could have been worse, but I'm trying to think how.
Oh, well, we'll get to it. We got 2 super chats from JS Pena. $1.99 a pair, says late and grooming.
I was actually.
And a new Haunted Mansion, I guess, will make the one with Eddie Murphy look good.
No.
Well, I don't know. The marketing for that movie is very odd, but, it's
quite shit.
Right. Okay. first things first, let's just get it out of the way. I want your review culture. Give me your review.
Okay.
And then me and Nick are gonna
fine.
Ask questions.
Give me your review. Over to you. Review it like you would on your own channel. Give me the review of Barbie.
All right. So I went and saw the film. Going in it was going to be an experience because it was a party event. So it was more than a film, it was an event. So they hosted a group of people. They had discounted drinks, free drinks, discounted food, free food. They had
Go ahead. Girly drinks.
You could get girly drinks. I actually just had iced tea. Well, I don't drink and then get in a vehicle, and I'm very
good.
Yeah. But no, so I got my iced tea. I skipped all the little garbage food that they have there. They actually have good food there as well, but I didn't have time to do that. They were giving away posters and buttons and all of that. So it was an event. And then I guess in a lot of the bigger theater complexes, they put up a Barbie doll box that you can get your picture taken in. Right, because they've done stuff like that with Shrek and things like that. But
please tell me you did that, culture.
Of course I did. Yeah, it's in my video review. Yeah, you can get a picture of me in the box. The unadulterated picture, I think Grant controls right now, so that's not good for me. But okay. So speaking about the film itself, so I saw it in the biggest possible theater that was available for this particular event. The seats were very comfortable. So I'm describing the best part of this, by the way. The seat in the theater was so good; it reclined all the way back. It was very cushy, and like if you were bored, you'd be out like a light. This is like go take a nap, better than the recliner at your house kind of a seat. Plenty of room, leg room, plenty of wonderful sound and everything else. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about a good theater experience is the audio. So all of that aside, that was the best part of the film. Now we get into the film itself. This started out exactly like the first teaser trailer that you saw. So you've already seen kind of the beginning of the film. It's the 2001 A Space Odyssey, throwing the bone up in the air, all that. Except it's very differently done. It takes elements of that and it mixes it with this idea that women have been oppressed forever, especially in the 50s. And that's when this doll came into being in 59. And all of the little girls, upon seeing Barbie, take their baby dolls, and their dreams of being a mother and destroy them. in their ideas of mother. So you're already starting off with the destruction of traditional life and womanhood and families and things like that. Then you move into the modern day. We get into Barbie's world. And to be fair, aesthetically, all of that is gorgeous. If you were going to pick out what Barbie's world would look like, they do a great job of that. Barbie's world is well represented. But right from the very beginning, there's a lot of superficial that they try to place on traditional Barbie or prototypical Barbie. And they do that very effectively. But in most people's eyes, that's not a bad thing. It's just that's that version of a person. They're happy with who they are. And they introduce this idea that everybody, no matter what their shade, pallor, or apparently gender makeup, that are Barbies are, all called Barbie. So like you just have like Dr. Barbie, President Barbie, Supreme Court Justice Barbie, like that. And then, of course, everybody that's getting any kind of awards, recognition, or anything in Barbie's world are women. Again, to be expected, kind of the film. So a lot of people trying to place nuance on this. They've been doing it in my comments all day about this film is satirical. No, it's not, because there is the person writing this and directing this film is not capable of writing anything that's nuanced like that. It is all incredibly ham-fisted. So when we get around to the things go terribly, terribly wrong point, Barbie's starting to break down and have malfunctions in her world. And there's a reason for that. But I don't want to gloss over the part where you also see just how incredibly stupid and superficial and brainless all the Kens are. And again, it doesn't matter what the Ken is, in particular Ryan Gosling, who's the main Ken, traditional Ken. They portray him as already from the very beginning a cuck, a simp, whatever term you want to use. Somebody who basically only exists to get a pleasing glance or a pleased glance from Barbie. That's exactly how he's portrayed. That's exactly how it's stated. And I will say this, the narration in this film is brilliantly done because, of course, it's done by Midnight's Edge's own Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren is the narrator in the film. So she does a lovely job. And then you have you have something go terribly wrong. Barbie's feet collapse. She gets cellulite. She has in Barbie world, so she's breaking down. So they send her to see Weird Barbie, played by the weirdest actress in Hollywood right now, Kate McKinnon. So, and she's always in a splits because in the real world, the person that owns her version of her, played with her very roughly and did all of these various things to her. You know, and that's how Barbies break.
That's the same actress from Ghostbusters 2016, right?
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Then you have Weird Barbie tell her that she has to find her counterpart, the girl that's playing with her, and get her to be happy playing with Barbie again, so she goes back to normal. So then she tells her how to get to the real world, which is a hullabaloo, right? There's a car, then a boat, then a jet ski, a snow ski, then rollerblades when she gets to Venice Beach, California. Now, mind you, I've been to Venice Beach a lot in the last 5 years. There are no homeless people. There's no drugs everywhere. They cleaned this up specifically to film this movie, obviously. And Barbie's quite surprised that, instead of women construction workers working on everything, she makes the assumption, she says, "Hi, ladies," and it's all guys. We're doing man's work because, unfortunately, there are not a lot of ladies that are doing sewer work, right? Rebuilding sewers and stuff like that. So immediately, she's caught off guard. She finds things out. Ken managed to hitch a ride with her because he didn't want to be left alone without Barbie. And he wouldn't be he wouldn't be thought of as cool by the other Kens if he wasn't with Barbie. So they're together in LA. They promptly get arrested because of something that would never happen in the real world, by the way. A guy walking up behind Barbie while she's rollerblading on Venice Beach and smacking her firm in the ass. All right. So this is the entire film breakdown, guys. So then is there LGBTQ here? Yes. In fact, back in Barbie land, there is a trans person that's a doctor. You have a few Dr. Barbies. One of them is a obvious trans, but back to current. So anyway, so so you get to that part of the film. They get arrested because Barbie punches the guy in the nose after she smacks his ass. And then they go to get some clothes replaced. They go into a store, also on Venice Beach. Amazing. It's like they filmed those scenes without taking a break. Yeah. But anyway, they go in there, they pull out these ridiculous cowboy outfits. So she walks out in Cowboy Barbie, he walks out in Cowboy Ken, and they didn't pay for them. So naturally they get arrested again. But the store owner thinks they look so great in the costumes or the outfits that he lets them keep them for whatever reason, because story needs. So eventually they go and look for Barbie's owner. They find Barbie finds Barbie's owner. Ken finds the rest of the world, and he finds a bunch of books about the patriarchy.
Oh Lord.
Horses and muscle trucks. And he learns all about the patriarchy, which means men rule the world. Okay. In that world. So he thinks it's awesome because he's really incredibly dumb. And that's what she learns. She learns about her owner. She finds out about her owner thinking it's this little girl. She goes to the school. The little girl is not her owner. She was, but the person that she was imagining, she'll find out later, is the daughter's mother, that it was actually more interested in playing with the Barbie. So she's having very negative feelings about Barbie, like insecure Barbie and all types of stuff. She's drawing it. Now, why does that matter? Okay, I'm going to back up slightly. Mattel is now aware that Barbie's in the real world.
Mattel.
That makes sense? Mattel.
The company.
It's run by
Will Ferrell,
Yeah, and they find out it's an emergency, so they send out their team. Now, the FBI advises them that Barbie's in the real world, like they didn't know. So, but that doesn't matter. Somehow the FBI is involved in everything nowadays, right? But anyway, so they show up at the school. They take Barbie. The mother is there to pick up the daughter. Sees that Barbie, real life Barbie, is being put into Mattel's vehicle, and then they go on a wild, a wild interaction to rescue Barbie. So they follow them to Mattel, which is actually where this lady works. Right. And do you not want this? I can stop. I can stop breaking down the film. Okay. So they make it to Mattel. They take Barbie upstairs. They try to put her in the box, which will send her back to Barbie Land. So they have a full-size box, just like the one you can get your picture taken in at the theater. And this is all, I'm serious here.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. And then, so they put her in the box. and they try to get her wrists in the cuffs, which are like big twist ties, like how you hold the dolls in the box with the action figures. Yeah. And just before they're able to get them finally in, she says, "Hey, I have to go to the bathroom." So all these idiots let her leave the room alone without any of the security detail or whatever to go to the bathroom. Except she doesn't go to the bathroom. She hauls ass to try to get out of there because she knows the gig is up. So then, in the process of fleeing from them, making them look completely stupid in a very over-the-top way that isn't believable at all, in a thing that they're trying to make a gritty, real-world environment, right? She finds her way to an empty room that's just a big empty whiteness, and then she keeps walking into it, and she finds herself in a kitchen. And unbeknownst to her, and we find out later in the movie, it's the creator of Barbie. Her name is Ruth. She's played by Rhea Perlman. And they have an interaction in the kitchen where, she tries to impart some knowledge about, Barbie without telling her that she's the creator of the doll, which, again, you find out later, which you already kind of assume if you know anything about the history of it. But anyway, so they hear banging around and knocking outside of this door that she came in to get into this big room. And and then she tells her that if you go through that closet, there's a stairway down to the lobby. So Barbie gets out, runs out of the building, and the mom and the daughter are sitting there in her car, and they take her away. And then in order to solve the problem and to make everything happy, once Barbie realizes the person she's been interacting with is the mother, that they have to all go back to Barbie Land to try to fix things so that she can go back to being normal. So they do exactly the reverse thing, because that's how you get back to Barbie Land. You do exactly the reverse thing of how you got there. So you rollerblade into this place, then you get in a boat, then you get on a jet ski or a snowmobile, there's like a rocket ship involved, and then like you're back on the car going back to Barbie Land. And they're all getting happier and everybody's excited. And when they arrive in Barbie Land, they realize that it's changing. The men, because Ken has come back, is now taken over, the Kens. So the Kens are now in charge of Barbie Land, and it is exactly every stereotypical bad thing that people can say about men, like monster trucks and, smoking and like a lot of like Andrew Tate-isms, right? And all of that.
Gyms, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's weights, and he's doing pull-ups. By the way, Ken is ripped. Holy crap, dude! He looks like you. He's yoked. Just yoked. But anyway, and they just kind of take over, and all the Barbies are like, well, yeah, this is great. I don't have to think. This is their words, not mine. I don't have to think, all of that. And to this point, we're probably now at about the 5 patriarchy mentions, because that starts to become a word that's said a lot and often. And eventually, the only person that's unaffected is Barbie. So, and Weird Barbie, because they've both like been abused in the real life counterparts. So moving along. I'll try to go faster. So sorry, this is the movie. So I'm trying to save you 2 hours of your life. So
is it 2 hours long?
Just under.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So anyway, so you end up with the you end up with Barbie being and Weird Barbie being the only people that aren't affected by this. Also, there's this weird doll called Alan, I guess, and there is and Skipper makes an appearance. Yeah. And there's like this one reference to a doll that may have been released in the 60s or 70s called Sugar Daddy. I'm not kidding. That was apparently released in the Barbie line, which was the dog's name was Sugar. The older man guy was Daddy. I guess that was actually a thing. I don't know. They say that all these dolls.
Funny, to be honest.
It was one of the only few humorous things that were there. But anyway, so you had all those things, and then they formulate a plan to deprogram each of these Barbies one at a time. So they create a distraction, right? And they get one of the Barbies there, who I think was like a writer that won one of the awards in Barbie, and they deprogram her, and then they conceive of this plan to deprogram all the Barbies by tricking the men, because you have to trick men in order to reclaim your power or to take over power. And they were about to change. The Kens all wanted to change the Constitution so Kens would rule forever, and the vote was in 2 days. So by the time they had deprogrammed all the Barbies, it had taken some time, and they were able to get the Kens to become insecure and fighting with each other over the various Barbies, because they were texting back and forth trying to make them jealous. This is how simplistic this movie is, because men are dumb. And so they trick men with that. Then you have two groups of Kens that form that actually go to war. Right. So you have people coming in from the beach, like they're landing on Omaha Beach. And then you have people like the other group of Kens coming in. So, and by the way, the Kens are led by Ken and by Simu Liu Ken. right? So Ryan Gosling Ken, Simu Liu Ken, and all of that. Now, there are musical elements throughout this that I have not described. I will say that this is the one really cool musical element that was good in this that would fit in a Broadway production. The Kens, the Battle of the Kens, becomes this like dance contest. But you cannot escape the overtly sexualized anything between any of these Kens. Like they all love each other, but not. I mean, it's not overt. And you can't get away from the fact that you know, there's a lot of tension there, which makes no sense. Regardless, they end up figuring out after the battle in this dance battle that, oh my gosh, today we were supposed to vote on the Constitution. So guess what? I bet you know, the Barbies were all in there voting on the Constitution to change Barbie Land back to Barbie Land and all of that. So all in all, this was a very bad move for Mattel. Just so you know, the Mattel guys, by the way, show up after Barbie Land returns to normal and Will Ferrell's there because they've been chasing down Barbie into Barbie Land. They resolved everything, and they head back home. Barbie has a decision to make at that point because the ghost of Ruth, we finally find out that this is the creator, comes and talks to Barbie and then takes her back to her white space, right, this empty space, and has her decide whether or not to become human, which she does. And so she returns to the real world, obviously living with the daughter, the mother, and the really idiotic portrayal of a man again, by the way, the father, who didn't notice they were missing for a few days, I guess. But anyway, they return to what you assume is the front of the Mattel building, and she's getting a job, obviously working for Mattel. But no, that's not it. The final joke is they took her to her gynecology appointment.
You gotta be kidding.
Okay, so give me a score out of 10 for this movie. Your
3.
review. 3 out of 10. Okay, cool.
And, and it's going down. That's going to go because it started at 3.5. By the time I recorded my review, it was at 3. It's going downward. It's descending.
Right. So that's your review summary.
Well, that's my description. My review is they said patriarchy no less than 10 times. Towards the end of the movie, during the deprogramming segment, there was a 4-minute feminist lecture that came out of some freaking college professor's like classroom at like freaking Butt Puppet U. I was really very unhappy about this film, and I felt bad for all the women that brought their daughters to that film because they should feel and should have and probably did feel a deep amount of shame for the amount of hate that was put on men throughout this film. At every opportunity, they took what could possibly be the worst male stereotype and they reinforced it in the most ridiculous way.
So they didn't show like a man who goes and works every day and takes care of his family and his wife and his like normal. They just showed stereotypical stuff only.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. And not only that, even on the redemption arc for both Barbie and Ken, which they did try to have. By the way, everything in this story is superficial. The showing parts, the aspects where the cinematography and the set design and all that's beautiful. Costumes, spot on. Everything about this gives you that aesthetic. At the same time, everything about the story is tell, don't show. You know what I mean? So there is no there's no true storytelling. Go ahead.
Would you compare it? What would you compare the portrayal of men to in another like for like movie or series?
I don't know that there is one. This is the worst I've ever seen.
Really, the worst you've ever seen? I mean, I know there has to be a worst you've ever seen, but really, this is the worst you've ever seen.
Ray said it was the best she's ever seen.
I think so. I think that this is so hateful to men. This is like they took Fight Club and every bad element of Fight Club with the masculinity that's in that, and they turned that into the most toxic, overrepresented, hyperbolic take.
It's a shame because I mean, look, hey, it's a Barbie movie. Of course, it's going to be women.
2016 Ghostbusters. Somebody in the chat said that.
Okay, but it's a shame because this could have been the Barbie version of the Lego movie. Like it could have been that. It's weird that I find that very bizarre that so the villain is the patriarchy and is Ken. Ken's the villain then. That's a big false advertisement, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they want you to think it might be Mattel that's the villain, right?
But they frame it in the
but at the same time, I mean, here's the thing. Mattel can't be happy about this, right? Because if this gets a Bud Light effect, which it very possibly could, there are a lot of ladies reacting incredibly negatively to this film. But if this gets a Bud Light effect, this could hurt them. I've said this. I mean, you're looking at over $5 billion in revenue per year for Mattel. 1/3 of all that revenue comes out of the Barbie division. 1/3 of $5 billion. So if they take a 20 to 25% hit, let's just say 20% hit from that split, that 1/3 revenue, they're going to lose over $400 million. Can you imagine? Yeah. I mean, and think about the stock price. And not only that, I mean, She-Hulk would be a good one to compare it to if it's a TV show. A lot of people are giving great suggestions. Wonder Woman 1984, it has similar vibes, but this is more man-hating. This is again just from the patriarchy stuff. They make Ken incredibly weak. They make Ken incredibly weak, despite his physical stature.
So I'm guessing he's like super
physically
beta,
weak,
super beta male.
Yeah, they make him weak in that. Yeah, not physically weak, but in his level of humanity, and the fact that he didn't want to lead. Actually, he was fine being a beta. I mean, that's the end. At the end, that's the message being conveyed. And the message being conveyed to young women is, you know what? You don't want to be a mother. You don't want anything to do with traditional stuff. You don't want to be tied down to anybody. You want it almost went to the point where I was thinking, wow, when are they going to tell you to have your own OnlyFans account? When are we going to get to that?
Yeah.
I was like, good Lord.
Stay home, be single, don't get in a committed relationship, get married and have kids.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Yeah. I mean, it is that messaging. It is pure intersectional wet dream time. And I couldn't believe they were doing it, because I actually thought,
behave. Do you mean you couldn't believe it? I can believe it all the time when they do this.
Maybe
I roll my eyes and go,
especially nowadays.
but maybe they were going to try to subvert my expectations like they do in every other way. I expected this film.
They did, didn't they? Because you watched the trailers and expected something different.
No, I expected it to be woke AF. That's why I did that video, that it's going to flop, and it may not flop. It may have a good first weekend.
It'll have a big opening weekend, and then
it's already proving out to be that. But for the life of me, I could not believe. I counted, because Christian Toto had said that there were a ton of in his review, he said there were a ton of the times they say the patriarchy. I'm like, okay, I need to know how many that is. And it was over 10. And wow. They stop so many times. They interrupt the flow of it for messaging. They interrupt the flow of the film to give you a mini lecture or teach a lesson or whatever throughout that. And, but the mother's bad thing was the thing that bothered me, because it just kept doing that. I mean, all men are bad. Doesn't matter if you're a father or not, but mothers are bad to a certain extent. I mean, the only positive mother redemption there was between the mother and the daughter in the film. And that felt actually superficial. It felt superfluous. Oh, by the way, throughout this film, Kens are irrelevant. Kens are irrelevant. They actually say it. In fact, the word I just used, superfluous, Barbie actually calls Ken superfluous on their way back to Barbie Land.
Wow.
The CEO of Mattel, Will Ferrell, calls him, we don't care about Ken. He doesn't matter.
Okay. So, right. Review. Let's get us some super chats. Guys, you want to ask anything about this film? Super chats are the way to do it. Magitech Mags for $10 says, seeing Barbie tomorrow night at a dining theatre. I have a feeling I made the right decision, especially for the cocktails. Won't stay for the Barbie review part.
Oh no, Mags is gone.
You're not here to get me reading out your message. Sorry.
I hope she didn't hear any of that. I really do.
No, we pre-warned. Alan B for £2 says, keep up the good videos, and shout out to Wayne King.
Who's Wayne King?
Say it quickly, Nick.
Oh my.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. Penny dropped. Israel off for $20 says, channel support. Enjoy your content throughout the years, Mr. H. And the H cast and panel is great. You should be a voice actor.
I agree with that. You should be a voice actor.
Thank you very much.
Good stuff.
Doug VA Loves Horror for $1.99 says, this sounds a lot like Ghostbusters 2016. Bad.
It is. I mean, again, the men are worthless and are only there to be ogled, and not even that much. I mean, and they really don't give men depth in this at all. None of them. No man has depth in this movie.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I didn't expect. The thing is, I didn't expect men to have depth in a Barbie movie, right? That's not what I expected, but I expected the point of the comedy not to. I didn't think the butt of the jokes would be men, essentially, or the villains would be men. I had an expectation that it would be quite similar to the Lego movie in that regard, and that the villain, the arc, all that kind of stuff was an outsider sort of perspective. So it's unfortunate that it's intrinsically linked to men in that way. That's shit. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect them to be the focus of the film by any stretch, but I didn't expect them to be the villain either.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, men bad is the focus of the film. I mean, let's be fair. But
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I didn't expect it, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that is the case.
Let's revisit this. This film was originally at Sony during the Amy Pascal nightmare. Okay, It was originally theirs, and that's when Amy Schumer was attached to the film. And she walked away from it because it wasn't feminist enough.
Wow.
So she walked away from the film because it wasn't feminist enough. So they brought in Greta Gerwig to write and direct it, who did Little Women in the most disastrous way possible. And and they expected this to be good. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Donovan Bradford for $5 says, question, could films like this and Birds of Prey affect Margot Robbie's career very negatively because these sound a lot alike? I haven't seen it. What do you think? I mean, I can give you my rundown on whether I think they would hurt someone's career. Yes, ultimately. But she has to be the headliner of multiple films that bomb significantly. She hasn't yet. I think this could be one of them.
I don't know. And again, the problem is I think culturally this is a bomb. And I'm not going to. Financially, I thought it would be a bomb if it went this way.
It'll have a massive opening weekend.
Yeah, it'll have a massive opening weekend. The problem is, we'll know a lot about women in society and as a whole, especially here in the United States, if this thing doesn't drop off a cliff in the second weekend. If it doesn't have a 70% drop off, we'll know exactly how effed we are in the United States officially, because that'll be a quantitative measure of just how many women have been programmed this way, because that's what it is. If you're going to take a young person to see this film, be prepared to brief them ahead of time that there is going to be a lot of, negative messaging about things, and just remind them that, your dad or your mom is good. And then at the end of the film, you have to debrief them and deprogram them. Probably that's how bad this film is. I'm not kidding. People are going to claim I'm hyperbolic. I'm not.
Objectively, a cat for $2 says, Hollywood being misandrist, color me shocked. What were you going to say then, Nick?
I was going to say, how well did they do at DEI in this thing?
Oh, dude, the Human Rights Campaign had to have been like throwing their hands up in the air, cheerleading the shit out of this, man. They got all kinds of the representation they're looking for. Then their DEI score for Warner Brothers DEI score is probably off the chart now. It's like, wow, we're loving you.
I saw Michael Cera was in this. What role did he play in the movie?
He was Alan. He was rather douchey. And if anybody was going to be questionably, ambiguously gay, it was his character, Alan.
The FTM22 for $5 says, so Ken now joins Jake Solo, Jake Skywalker, and Jake Jones on the loser train. As a woman, I like my men strong, decent, and chivalrous. # not my Barbie.
The funny thing is, and I'm going to be fair, because I always try to call out the good things, and I did this in my review. There are beautiful moments. Aesthetically, it's gorgeous. It's everything you would imagine the world of Barbie to look like. That's great. The musical numbers that are in there, top notch. The balance of it, though, is just it's all driven by an agenda. And I thank you, Al Humphreys. Yes, Al invented a new term, hyperbolically. Yes, it worked quite bollick.
I like it.
It's quite bollick. But I look at this film and and a lot of people think I'm being hyperbolic. I really am not. This is the beginning to end. There is no end to the anti-men, anti-patriarchy, women rule everything. And the idea that women are valued less in our modern society is complete garbage. And that's even added to by people in the business world. Like I said, when Ken separates from Barbie while she's finding her girl, he's finding out the world around him, is run by men. There's no women involved in running things. And I was like, that's really not an accurate message.
It's simply not true, but yeah. I mean, it's right that you very rarely see a woman sewerage worker, women plumbers, and women miners and stuff like that. That's very true, but the other stuff, not so much.
Yeah, I got some friends that work in the coal mines here, and no, as far as they know, no woman has ever worked in the coal mines there.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. We've got another super chat from Mecha J for $5. Says, culture. I hear some who like the movie say the movie was satirically poking fun of the patriarchy aspects of the movie. Would you agree?
No.
Is it satirical?
I asked, somebody said that, or a couple people said that in the comments for my review, saying it was satirical. You need to take another look at it. I said, I don't think you understand. There was no satire here. The writer isn't capable of any kind of nuance that would be required to do a satirical take of the subject matter. She's not even capable of directing it. And with the wildly over-sexualized partnerships that they had with the music video stars that, were in it, like, I don't know, name some, like Nicki Minaj. I mean, I can't tell you how many times she's been flapping different things on TV, and some other folks that are involved in this project and that were featured in it. So when well, I can't say certain things, Nate, I can't. Anyway, rewinding. So it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating when you see this overtly intersectional message that is the only thing it's focused on. There's no way you can find satire with that underlying baseline. You can't. It's not there. There's nothing funny about it. There were 3 or 4 comical moments, but they came at the expense of what you expect. And there were times when their audience members like myself groaned. I was uncomfortable with just how much they were attacking men.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We've got 941 people watching. Smash that thumbs up button, guys.
Everybody.
I do appreciate it. Again, it's not to help the video out because the video gets unlisted the moment we're done. It's just to let YouTube know that you like the video and will hopefully notify you when we do the podcast again. Oh dear. So yeah, sounds a bit woefully, sounds a bit bad, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not great, not great. I will say as well, ladies and gents, please do, like I said, hit that thumbs up button. So we've got 318 likes. Can we at least get, I don't know, halfway, 450 odd? That'd be good.
That'd be amazing.
But please do check out everyone's channel linked in the description box. And also check out the second channel, my second channel. It's the podcast channel, Mr. H Reviews Live Archives. Really, really important to go there, hit subscribe. Why? Because all these videos don't stay up on the main channel. They get taken down. They get put on a completely second channel. And they get chopped up into the best bits as well. So head on over there. If you missed this, you missed the start, you missed the last one, they all get put as their own videos, basically. I spent a great amount of time chopping it all up. It takes bloody ages. But you guys are worth it. So Mr. H Reviews Live Archives linked down below. And again, just to sort of move on with my sort of preamble a little bit, these always get demonetized. This has already been demonetized, just as an FYI.
We demonetize it. You guys in chat help remonetize it.
Exactly. So it's already been demonetized, annoyingly. So if you want to support the show, help keep the lights on, super chats are the way to do it. This show is literally funded by you and is kept on the air by you guys. So super chats are the way to do it. It's so annoying, because obviously you can see the light changing on my face as I'm doing stuff, and I flicked onto, the live page on YouTube, like demonetize. I'm a fucking son of a bitch, instant demonetization. God damn it! So yeah, not fun. But hey, super chats are the way to do it. Right, let's get on to something which I was hoping Andre was going to be here for, but unfortunately he's not. But let's talk about Master of the Universe being cancelled. Now, this was a live-action movie that was going to be at Netflix, right? It was going to be at Netflix. This was a live action movie. It was going to be at Sony as well. Now they've dumped reportedly about $60 million into this for development, and then they've just shit canned it. $60 million down the drain. Done. And they haven't got nothing to show for it. So I thought this would be hilarious because it just goes to show you why companies are looking to, well, I mean, they're looking to save money in the weirdest ways because they're looking to get AI involved. Well, maybe you just shouldn't do this. Yeah. Maybe you just shouldn't piss money up the wall like you've been doing with this. So this
the last animated one was bad enough. I mean,
we're gonna get to that, mate. Don't you worry about it. So, Master of the Universe, a live-action movie based on He-Man and a slew of other popular Mattel toys, is officially dead at Netflix, according to multiple variety sources. Insiders said that close to $30 million has already been spent on development costs, and just development costs, and the cash that's been shelled out to hold on to talent because they've been developing it for so long, like idiots. Like previously announced, lead Carl Allen and the film's heat-seeking directing duo Adam and Erin Nee. Other knowledgeable sources estimate all-in cost are twice that figure. Now, this is what I just couldn't quite understand when I was getting through all of this. I was like, this is bizarre, right? This is apparently like a budget issue. So a spokesperson for Mattel confirmed that Master of the Universe is no longer on Netflix, but didn't provide any other comment. A Netflix spokesperson had no comment. So originally, basically, $200 million, cameras were going to start rolling this February. Last spring, however, Netflix was confronted with a stock drop, a $50 billion loss of value, and so they were like, "We don't want to spend any more than $150 million on this."
Wow.
And apparently, that's what led it to die. Wow. Apparently, yeah, producers brought back a proposed budget of $180 million. So these are the producers, basically producers versus Netflix. Netflix were like, look, 150 million. Producers were like, no, 180 million. And Netflix were like, no. So they gave it, they never gave it a green light.
God, I'm surprised they were going to give it 150.
But no, 150 would get you a good He-Man movie. What the fuck are you doing with $180 million on it? Just go to the desert, get some muscular guy running around with a sword, and some guy dressed up as bloody Skeletor. What are you doing? It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
The creator is made for $86 million and it looks fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. You're telling me you can't make He-Man for $150 million, almost double that of what the creator's made for? You are pissing fucking unbelievably. You are on crack.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just what?
When I was saying I'm surprised they gave him $150 million, because exactly to the point of what you just made, they could make a good He-Man film for less than $150.
You make for $60.
Netflix should know that. But this goes back to what we talked about in the past: is the budgets for these projects by these studios has become so inflated. It's ridiculous. I mean I don't even see how it's a profitable market for movie studios nowadays with these big, huge budgets.
It is insane. They even say one source with knowledge of the budget said the final figure included costs spent on development. Why are you spending $60 million developing a He-Man movie? That's not even props. That's not costume. That's not... What is that? What have you spent $60 million on? What have you spent it on? $60 million would get you the movie.
60 million just on development. Good Lord.
Fucking hell.
Well, did they have R&D? They may have had R&D in on CGI and R&D.
Oh yeah, on $60 million.
Practical effects, right? Like they built the beasts and everything in here, and they had to develop the costuming and all that. Maybe, who knows? I'm just trying to make excuses. There's no way to spend $60 million on something like this. That's crazy.
Where did it all go?
Don't know.
Like that's what I want to know. That's what I'd be asking. Where did this $60 million for development actually go? What did it actually go into? What in development cost $60 million? 60 million.
60 million.
Well, and these, I mean, and to be fair, I'm now starting to believe that there are only a limited number of toy franchises they're going to be able to work with, because they've gotten rid of their entire niche. They're too old to be invested in this stuff, and they stopped investing in developing all these properties years ago. You know, it's one of, and if they're gonna turn away the audiences, right? Just absolutely offend those older audiences. They're not going to bring their kids to the table on this stuff. It's just, I didn't think this was a good idea to begin with. Of course, I didn't think the animated one was a good idea. I'd prim to be right on that, but it is what it is.
Netflix, I was excited about that animated one until I found out what it was really about. Because the trailers and stuff gave you a false idea of what the show was going to be about.
A bit like Barbie, right? So,
yeah.
I just honestly, like, you think to yourself, I just, oh God, when I sort of say, look, when I, I like He-Man, Sword and Sorcery, Sword and Sandal, I like Conan, like He-Man, love all that stuff. Like, it's good, dumb, fun. You can make it as deep as you want. You can make it as superficial as you want. You can make it a really decent film, like a really decent film, and it's not that difficult. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, what's so difficult about developing a story based on He-Man? It's there for you. It's like when they say, oh, I don't know, what was the last one that was really difficult to develop, that they were like, oh, like, people have been saying it. There's so many others, like Spawn is difficult to develop. How is that difficult to develop? Well, that's not difficult to develop into a story. Just the mind boggles at how stupid Hollywood writers are, by and large, and studios, FYI, because it's a symbiosis of one another. It's a parasitic nature. You're struggling to make He-Man into a movie. You've got problems. It's so basic. The same as Alien, right? Alien is not a difficult franchise to get right. These franchises are not hard to get right. They're really simple. Really simple. And yet, every single time, development problems. On what? You're not growing a baby, for fuck's sake. Like, it's not complex. Weird analogy, I know, but it's what happens when you're ranting. But again, the creator, $86 million, and you look at that and you go, well, holy shit. So not that much more than what they spent $60 million on. They got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it at all.
Not one scene shot.
Not one scene shot. They've got to give the property back to Mattel now. Mattel's then got to go back to the drawing board on farming this out to another company. Who are they going to give it to? Who's going to do it now?
Nobody has any money. Nobody has any money.
It was at Sony before. Then it was at Netflix.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to look at that in the industry and go, well, Netflix spent $60 million. Couldn't crack it. Couldn't fucking crack it. God.
I look, I mean, if you, maybe A24 could take this and run with the ball, since all of that front end was done.
I think about A24.
You're not going to write
tiny budgets anyway. So that's good. They'd be able to prove everyone wrong, prove everyone.
And also, since this was done under Netflix, when it goes back to Mattel, is Mattel now have all the work that was done for this development of this project? I'm guessing probably not.
No, probably not.
I don't look. I mean, if you're on the hook for that $60 million when you take this over, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's already destroyed this opportunity before it even begins, because, I mean, okay, E1 right now, by the way, Entertainment One, Hasbro's thing, they're not going to
shut down. No, they've shut down in the UK as well.
Yeah, they 25% of their workforce is gone as of today. I covered that today. I think you might have too, but
No, I haven't.
I did not. All right. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, dude. I've been busy all morning, but I usually watch you in the clips later. By the way, I'm loving the clips channel. You're nailing it.
Clips channel's great. Yeah,
I know. And it was. I'm like, it's funny how a lot of them start with a super chat too. Now I'm like, holy cow! It's like, it's driven.
This is what I've been saying to people, guys. You said a super chat in. It's a good question. It gets turned into its own video.
I was pretty amazed
in a video. Yeah, but look, honestly, this is just a shit show. What an epic waste of money! And it's so funny when studios are like, "We got no money to pay you. We got no money to pay you, writers." It's like, but you can spaff $60 billion up the wall.
Yeah,
that's true.
$60 billion up the wall on nothing, literally on nothing. They have nothing. Nothing to show for it at all. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
There's probably some artwork, some storyboards somewhere.
Wasn't Joker made for $60 million?
55 million.
55. There you go.
It made $1 billion.
Deadpool was made for $90 million.
Yeah, except that on the back end, they had to come back and pay the VFX artists they didn't pay the first time around. So it cost a bit more on the back end. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, anyway, Joker, $55 million. They got a whole. They have $1 billion to show for that.
Sound of Freedom, 14 million.
Oh,
and they're in profit. Netflix, 60 million.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. And that's why the industry's dead. Like that is a fucking what an epic waste of cash. If I was a shareholder at Netflix, I'd be so pissed. Like, what are you doing? What are you actually doing?
They had an increase of 5.9 million customers, a huge increase in revenue because of the conversion of customers, and yet their stock's going down. I wonder if it's partnered with news like this where they spend money irrationally,
nothing,
and irresponsibly.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Oh dear, But anyway, we've got some super chats to get to now, guys. Yeah. So we got one from Paulie from the Latino slang. It's just dollar bills for $4.99. Cheers, dude. I know he's actually off to go watch Barbie soon. So
Paulie, no.
I know.
Oh, my friend.
Commandant VHS VHS for $2 says monetize. Thanks, Mr. H. Thank you. Pilgram Media says, Mr. H, the intersexual tripe is from
Angels.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Sorry.
No. It's good. It's good. I'm glad someone did the accent. The Seaman for $5 says, here's some real American dollars. You're possibly looking at YouTube alternatives to parallel stream to. No, I'm not. I am looking at people. So super chats are great. Like they literally keep the lights on here. But YouTube does take a third of it. So I am looking at, is it Streamlabs? Streamlabs are good, aren't they?
Well, you can just put the tip.
Just put it as a banner on the top, pin it to the top of the chat.
Put what to the top?
Wherever it is, Stream Elements, Streamlabs, whatever you choose.
I don't have it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Just set it up.
Right?
Yeah. You can use that. You can get Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi works too.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you some links. But Tom's in the chat. He says they first had to give $30 million to Sony and David S. Goyer. That was the first thing they had to do to acquire it.
Well, that's allegedly part. Yeah. So that was allegedly part of the cost. But if that's the minimum that they did, then that's not. Then it's still. They did an extra 30 million on top of it because they were still developing it and they were still keeping a hold of talent, etc. So regardless whether it's 30 million to acquire it, they're still 30 million deep as well. And they still spent 60 million to acquire and develop something which they did nothing with.
Holding deals are temporary though. They have a fixed time out. That
I got no idea, honestly. But maybe that no idea. Who knows? Myzeet Wizard for $10 says, thank you. Myzeet Wizard. Thank you for making me realize that the Barbie movie is not something I should take my daughters to, culture. I will instead spend that money on the Godzilla -1 prequel, Oppenheimer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. There's the prequel.
Much better option.
Oh, I like that. That's good. That's very good.
This mag's back.
John Platt for $2 says, just a small donation. You guys are great. Hollywood's dead. It is pretty much dead. Yeah,
great to see John.
It's dying anyway, especially when he spent 60 million, get nothing to show for it. Al Humphreys for £10 says, F that demonetization, Mr. H, mate. Here you go, fella. And love to Sir Jasper, of course. Sir Jasper, bloody, I come upstairs to do this stream, and because I got like 3 rooms adjacent to one another and like a landing, a hallway type thing. And I look in my spare room. What's ripped up all on the carpet? Bloody toilet roll.
Oh no!
Jeez.
He loves. I just honestly. He stole a toilet roll and he's ripped it all up in my spare room. So
it was probably rolling around. He was chasing it.
Well, I don't know. It's everywhere. So he's had a whale of a time, and I've got to clean it up now. So that's good.
Oh my!
And we were just talking before the stream about the possibility of my $1 billion venture. If anyone was interested in a Jasper themed calendar, would anyone be interested in that? If I was to set that up on what is it, like a Kickstarter?
Something like that.
What do they do?
Yeah,
something like that. Indiegogo. Would anyone be interested in a Jasper themed calendar?
Me.
Let me know.
I'd buy one.
We'll get that going.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would piss all over Anna's from that Star Wars girl. you won't get any tits or ass, but tell you now, you'll get cuter pictures because it'll be a dog.
Yeah,
and dogs are cute. So, no, I'm kidding. We like Anna here.
We love Anna.
But if anyone would be interested in that, I might look into doing something like that. I've posited that theory before, but yeah, let me know.
I like it.
Anyway, John Apocalypse for £2 says Dread's budget was around 40 million. Still looks great. Yeah. Again, they gave 60 million on nothing.
It really does.
Nothing.
I want
Olaf Van Ness, massive shout out to our mod, even though you were late. Nate, you could also make a PayPal link for donation. Okay.
Yeah, we did that when our channel got demonetized.
I'll have to do that. I mean, I've got a Missed Reviews PayPal. It's just misstagereviews@gmail.com. So
that would work.
You can do that, can't I? That's
and
easy.
and you pin it up in the thing.
Yeah, or you could have a banner going at the bottom.
You can have a banner.
Someone needs to make a banner for me then. I don't know how to do that. Because I'm old, as you can tell from my white hairs and shit. Anyway, KN Kareem for $4.99 says, yes, please do PayPal or Venmo. I don't do Cash App. Isn't Cash App for like hookers and stuff?
That's what I use on all my hookers, at least.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Cash App.
I see. I said, wow, there you go then. I don't fucking know. Donna Hergenrether. For $4.99 says, like Lucasfilm, Mattel is making my childhood a laughing stock. Sorry, you got demonetized. Hi, Nick.
Hey, what's up, Donna?
Oh dear. What's the thoughts of? Let me look at the chat now. We got the thoughts on a Jasper calendar. No one likes it.
I don't know. I
think Slipknot fan says make the Jasper calendar.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. We should.
John says Jasper, your pet dog. I'll back that.
Yeah, Jasper is a border terrier. I don't know if I've got any pictures of him actually on there. Well, we got this one, but it's not actually him.
All right.
Sort of him. Anyway, yeah, try and do a calendar. Right. So let's shuffle on from one Master of the Universe story to another. Kevin Smith crying as always. So Kevin Smith has come out and rejected the premise that Master of the Universe Revelation performing poorly had anything to do with the live-action He-Man getting access at Netflix. Now, I think this is an interesting, sort of theory to posit, isn't it? Like, let's be honest. Would Netflix get cold feet about spending loads and loads of money on a live-action He-Man because Master of the Universe was a bomb? Yes, absolutely they would. And you've also got a question.
Especially if it was going to be done the same way Revelation was done. 100%.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that would be that would be the main complaint I would have as Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Is this going to focus on Tila, or is this actually going to be a He-Man movie?
So Variety's Matt Donnelly said that the live-action He-Man film that moved to Netflix was getting scrapped at the streamer. Donnelly posited that the main reason for the film being scrapped was due to budget concerns, with him reporting insiders said that close to $30 million has already been spent on development costs, and the cash has been shelled out to hold on to talent, like previously announced lead, blah, 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 blah. Stuff that we've just covered. However, he also noted the cost might have actually been double that. Other acknowledgeable sources, 60 million, blah, blah, blah. We covered that. Donnelly would also go on to say that the budget for the planned film was going to be 200. Then they didn't want to do 150. They wanted to lower to 150. Then the producer said no, 180. And then they just were like, nah. And then we get the last thing, basically about budget concerns, etc. And then Zombie Shoot essentially responded to the report and speculated Kevin Smith's Master of the Universe revelation might have also had something to do with the cancellation. Because 38% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, that is very bad.
Yeah.
That is very, very... For something which has got 2 seasons, basically.
Yeah, and that's with,
or will have, anyway.
That's with a lot of help from Rotten Tomatoes. So
Yep. And a 5.5 rating on IMDb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bad. That's what happens when you go woke. Looking at you, Kevin Smith. You ruined He-Man. Brilliant. Love it. And then Smith, like the little douche that he is, because he loves responding to people like he always does. If you're watching this, Kevin, respond. It says in Variety that the movie was too pricey for Netflix, but I'm sure some other studios will snatch it up. Meanwhile, our Master of the Universe Revolution animated series is almost completed. Bear McCreary is scoring episode 3 now, and we just mixed the first episode last week. No one cares, Kevin.
Nobody's going to watch it.
Stupid or something.
Yeah.
So Smith would also respond to Twitter user the Random58. Come on, bro. Let's be real. They're not willing to pay the money because your show failed so spectacularly that it killed any excitement for it. It's too pricey because they believe it'll flop. Honestly, it's shameful how you did He-Man. I still like your Green Arrow run, though. Smith said, I read the Variety article twice and I wasn't mentioned once. Oh, yeah, because Variety are like the be-all and end-all. They're the arbiters of what Netflix cancelled. You fucking
They're a glorified high school newspaper.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Master of the Universe Revolution, the sequel series, debuts in a few months. We have a panel about it. You're shilling for your crap cartoon to people that are telling you that your cartoon is crap.
I want to see that panel at San Diego Comic-Con and how many people are there and cheering and stuff. Because I'm guessing it's probably not going to be that many.
And that's the Random 58 says, I'm aware that you weren't mentioned, but read between the lines. The only reason that Netflix isn't making it is because they don't think they can make the money back. Why don't they think they can? Because could it be because a show with the same IP on their very own platform flopped? And then Smith would reply again, so by your logic, I guess Netflix figures they can make their money back on a second season of our animated series, since they greenlit it and paid for Master Universe Revolution. Then again, maybe I'm just reading between lines. Kevin, mate.
They probably didn't pay that much.
Kevin, this would have already been greenlit. Animation takes fucking years.
Forever.
Yeah. You're literally thinking people are as dumb as you. They're not, Kevin. You're dealing with people with a much higher IQ set. Go put your face in a beef burger or something. All right? Ever since you lost weight, mate, you're an insufferable prick.
Yeah.
What's that? Like, cartoon animation takes bloody forever. It takes years. That's why Velma was greenlit again, because they'd already greenlit it.
Yep.
They'd already put it into pipeline.
Yeah, this is a hard concept for people to grasp, though. The sunk costs of a lot of these productions are years in advance of them actually making it to the screens.
And then we get this again. I don't know what the budget for the show is, but considering the number for the movie, it's probably a small fraction of that. So it's much more likely that they make money on that. Yes, it's also likely that if this one performs like the other two or one, whatever you'll call it, it'll get axed. Smith then said, yes, both animated series cost millions, but not $200 million. Yes, we know that, Kevin. The number Variety indicated was the jaw bridge too far for the movie division. Now we're on the same page. However, if Revolution does anywhere close to Revelation numbers, then we'll definitely get a season 3. I can't wait to hold you to that, Kevin.
Somebody screenshot that right now. And put it away and save it for a rainy day for after
this guy is a freaking idiot.
Oh, he's responded again. Smith also responded to another user who questioned whether the live-action film Get an Axe affected Master Universe Revolution. Not at all. That project was part of the movie division. Master Universe Revolution is part of the animation division. I'm sure we'll wind up talking about it on the Master of the Universe panel on Thursday afternoon at San Diego Comic-Con. But according to Variety, the big budget of the movie was the issue. You are so funny. The numbers are terrible.
There's no way
top 10.
There's no way I don't buy that Netflix didn't at least have a consideration of the animated show
of course
in their head.
Did.
There's no way I won't buy that was at least in their mind, before they made the decision.
Of course they did. It's so funny.
He's not a good businessman.
He's a dunce.
I feel bad for him, because there was a point.
It's almost like poking fun at someone that's, challenged.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I shouldn't poke fun at him.
Yeah.
Because clearly he's not all there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like poking fun at Joe Biden, right? It's just that's not kind.
Yeah.
Just kidding, guys. Not political.
Honestly, what an absolute dunce this guy is. So there you go. Like, of course, absolutely unequivocally, Netflix would have looked at the numbers and gone, you know what? That's probably not a sound business move to sink $180 million, because that's what the producers came back with, into this live action movie. Because we're not getting much hype for the new series. We're not getting the chatter for it. The last one didn't do very well. It'd be a bit silly to do that. Yeah, like that just makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. But no, you're all liars, according to Kevin Smith. He knows it. He knows it. But remember, we're going to hold you to that, Kevin, mate. We're going to hold you to it. We're going to get a third season, are you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, season 2 of that He-Man show will probably be just as bad. Not unless they realize that he screwed up and he completely turns it around and goes the opposite direction, which I am not betting on that he's going to do.
No, of course not.
That would be the only way that I would see season 3 happen. If he turned it completely around, went a complete correct direction, and then word of mouth and all that just brought a lot of hype to it. But he's not going to do that. We all know how Kevin Smith is. I couldn't even get through Clerks 3, and I loved the first 2, and I tried watching the third one, and not even halfway through, I was like, I can't even watch this anymore. I literally turned it off and never watched it. Went back.
Terrible. Honestly, Kevin Smith is so dumb. So dumb. So we got one more super chat to get to before we move on to a fantastic, just exceptional topic. You're going to love it. From him downstairs for $7.50. That is a very interesting number for a super chat. I don't think I've ever seen a $7.50. So here is 5 after YouTube's. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There you go. I should have read it. It makes perfect sense. What an idiot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Genuinely appreciate that. Thank you. Brilliant. Right. Anyway, shall we talk about the Marvels?
Ooh.
Yay.
I can't wait for this.
Apparently, according to Brie Larson, this was always going to be an ensemble. Sorry, wait. When was that going to be the case?
Sure it was.
You're full of shit. Like, come on. Behave. Of course, it was absolutely not going to be an ensemble. It was always billed as she was going to lead the MCU. She was the next big thing. Remember, you've got to watch Captain Marvel because that's really important for Avengers Endgame. But anyway, here we have it.
Kevin Feige even talked about it publicly back then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so more lies, right? So even before Carol's debut, Larson says Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige was already looking to the future, brainstorming how to bring other beloved heroines from page to screen. At the top of that list were Monica. At the top of the list, the top of the list were Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan. So instead of a traditional Captain Marvel sequel, the goal was to bring in even more heroes. And I quote, this is from Larson herself. This was something Kevin and I talked about from the beginning, that this was the way this story made sense to go. Did it though? Did it? Did it really?
Debatable.
Did it? Because I remember distinctly this movie being called Captain Marvel 2. Yep. And then the name being changed. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is all total bollocks and you're trying to save your movie. Just like you're doing it by trying to push out was it Ms. Marvel for free. You are absolutely full of balls. Bullshit, of course. This is utter nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Look at some of these stills. Look at this.
Oh, God, it looks so bad.
You know what it looks like, don't you?
Oh.
It looks like the Lord of the Rings when they did the Rings of Power.
Yeah,
and then Entertainment Weekly immediately came around and called it absolute garbage.
They get paid for these. I mean, they're in desperation at this point. Most of these digital
triple threat.
Well, most of these digital, formerly print magazines are falling out of favor with the general public. People are ignoring mainstream messaging now. So, they'll take all these ad dollars because this is an ad promo. That's all this is.
And remember, she did that interview where she was like, I don't know, does anyone want to see me? Does anyone want to see me anymore?
Yeah.
Anyone remember that interview?
I love it.
That was by Variety, wasn't it?
I think I had that as a screensaver for some time. Because, it has Brie Larson.
But apparently, I like Brie Larson. She's hot.
And how dare they put her in the front of two POC? But I mean that's racist, and they should be held accountable for putting the white woman in front of them like she's the top dog,
Yeah, you can't. That's So look, this is absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It was a very you know what I like about this, right? What I like about this is they're addressing everything that the rumors had come out and stated. So from sources had said, hey, there's some shit going on behind the scenes. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson is not happy that she had to share her sequel with two people, right? That was what was going around. That she was a nightmare to work with. She wasn't happy, and I said, hey, that makes perfect sense. I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed though if I was promised, a superhero franchise, hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm going to lead the MCU. I'd be angry if they then just put me with, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. I'll be pissed.
Yeah, because they marketed it as Captain Marvel 2 on the big board.
It was called Captain Marvel 2. Yeah. It was actually called Captain Marvel 2. But the thing is that they are addressing what the rumors had stated. This is everything they're saying. It was very sisterly bond on set. It was really fun to see how their relationship mirrors their relationship in the movie. So it's literally, you heard those rumors? We're going to address it by not addressing it. We're just going to talk about it in this and they paid for this. Marvel paid for this to be an Entertainment Weekly. This is part of their PR budget. So they are paying to debunk the rumors and get Entertainment Weekly to print what they want to print. And it's just all of it is just addressing the rumors. I'm excited that the MCU has 3 lead women, all from very diverse backgrounds, and they're all baddies in their own way. It's going to be really exciting to see these smart, fun, intelligent, and troubled women find their way. Again, so they're saying their interaction was great. They were like sisters on set. It was always going to be the case. They were always going to do this. That's nonsense. That is absolute nonsense. It's unequivocal nonsense.
Lies.
Yeah. So Bounding Into Comics is in the chat, and they say, do you think Disney pays for this, or does Entertainment Weekly just want it for the access? No, I legitimately think if this follows the trend of Rings of Power, this has been paid for. Exactly the same as Rings of Power.
From their marketing budget.
It's from a marketing budget. They paid for it. They paid for this. They get sit down, or whether it's the reason why I'm saying this with Rings of Power is that Entertainment Weekly did loads of features on Rings of Power. Then the moment the embargo came up, they were just like, yes, garbage. Like they absolutely tore a new one.
I mean, they got paid to promote it, and then once they got their money for doing that,
they gave an actual opinion.
And
that's what I think is going on here. I think it's exactly the same thing, because this is a puff piece. There's nothing in here of substance. Everything in here is addressing the rumors that were going around. Everything addresses the rumors. There's nothing else. Here you go. I understand that feeling of being afraid to let go of control, of being afraid of passing on responsibility to others. You almost want to take on all the burden yourself. So I think this is an incredible metaphor for learning how to be in a team. It's a very clear example that no one person can do it all. Yeah, it can. That's called Captain Marvel 2, just the sequel.
Yeah.
You need all kinds of skill sets, all kind of people, 3 different viewpoints and different backgrounds in order to save the world. This is, you see what I mean? Like, they are literally addressing the rumors. So this is just a puff piece.
Captain America and Iron Man did it on their own in their own movies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So is this diminishing women then?
God, look at this fucking trash.
In a way, because they're not good enough to do it on their own. They need a lot of them to get the job done.
That's it. Yeah, they're just not strong enough. Whereas Captain America was. Again, always in the back of my head was a story based on family reconnection and how hard that can be to navigate. Yeah. That's right, because she's your family or some shit. I don't know. Who cares? Yeah, this is a mega puff piece. This is just them trying to address the rumors, trying to, I don't know, this garbage. Look at this stuff.
Oh, this is hot trash.
So now we got female Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah,
I guess, or Ronan the Accuser's there now. I don't know what is going on here. They even said, "What's this?" So we talked about. They were like, "No, it's actually to join the cast of Captain Marvel 2." Yeah, so exactly. It was. Oh my god, it was called Captain Marvel 2. This looks terrible. Why have you got pictures of a cat? I know it's not a cat, but why?
Cat.
But why is it in it? Of all things to
He's
show?
back to scratch somebody's eye.
Oh, yay. Good. Look at
Bounding into Comics says that is Bar Den, an obscure character from that they gender swapped. The
good.
Female Ronan.
That just makes it even better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a long article.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, but these are what they do here. Between this kind of shit and the stuff that you'll find on, and I cursed, sorry guys. Between that and the stuff that you'll find,
F-bombs all stream. Why?
I know, but I don't curse that much. I know, but Vanity Fair is equally guilty of this kind of puff garbage. I mean, it's unbearable.
We're really lucky because we have such a plethora of female characters with real flaws and real arcs. Time and time again, it's proven that not only do these stories have such a robust fan base, but they sell. What, like, this is from Iman Villani. What, like your series, the lowest viewed series out of all Marvel shows, they sell, do they? They have a fan base and they sell.
In real flaws and real arcs, she was like flawless and had no flaws at all. So did she develop flaws for this movie now?
Mate, honestly, what absolute garbage. Utter garbage. I thought we'd have a good laugh at that anyway. So yeah, the Marvels is going to be a bomb. Why'd you move it from a primetime summer slot to a movie opening up against things that you can then? The thing is, they moved it in between 2 movies that is direct competition, and so now when it flops, they go, well, it was because they can justify it flopping now because it's opening up against the Hunger Games, right? A week after the Hunger Games, and now, but that's the thing, they can now. Yeah. That is exactly why Disney moved it. I thought for a really long time, why did they move it? Why would they kill their own thing? And it makes perfect sense when they know that they've got shareholder meetings, they've got, investor days coming up, all these kind of things. It makes perfect sense that they would move it to that slot and use that as the justification for why it bombs. That is exactly why they did it. So they can justify why it bombs. They can just go, yeah.
But anybody reading
bad timing, sorry.
Anybody reading the room knows they moved the window to do that, though, Nate. I mean, it's obvious.
All right, sorry. Fucking, you got there before me, then, mate. All right, soz.
That's all right. That's okay. Sometimes I'm smart. It's not awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, we've got another super chat from Rob Altis. Says, don't demonize my Mr. H YouTube. Here's 5 as well.
Thank you. You guys are wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone's awesome in the chat. Thank you very much. So speaking of a Disney flop, this was from you, Nick. Disney's Indiana Jones 5 took in $300 million at the box office. That's a disaster for CEO Bob Iger and Lucasfilm. Yeah, this is terrible. This is a huge
Lucasfilm is making
bomb.
Disney zero money. It's literally costing them money at this point.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Ridiculous. I mean, it got beat out by Sound of Freedom. Now Sound of Freedom is a week on week percentage drop off or increase. Sound of Freedom has beaten Indiana Jones when you're looking at it from an increase or decrease perspective, which is hilarious.
First screen average, overall profit. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Right?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Yeah, like the funny thing is that if Disney had kept Sound of Freedom and released Sound of Freedom against its own movie, Indiana Jones, Disney would have made more money releasing Sound of Freedom than they did releasing their $350 million budget Indiana Jones movie. That is utterly hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. And it's so funny. They say, look, the new entry could no longer rely on the goodwill built up by the first 3 films after the critical disappointment of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Poor reviews and dreadful word of mouth look to now sink Lucasfilm's first theatrical release since 2019. That's another thing to sort of look at here, is that they pulled away from all movies releasing anything. They were like, shit, we need to, because Star Wars had become a pretty big failure point for Lucasfilm.
I'm curious who the idiot was that allowed the embargo to be lifted after Cannes.
I know.
Because if they knew it was shit, why let people trash on it that early before it even drops?
They obviously thought it was good, though. They obviously thought it was good. They genuinely thought it was good. Its 302 million global take has only matched roughly the reported cost of its production budget. Nope, not even. Which suffered from expensive reshoots after test screenings indicated audiences were less than thrilled with the initial ending.
And you got to remember, they don't get that whole. Right now, it's currently at 307 worldwide.
Yeah,
but that's not all their money. The theaters and other people,
$150 million around out to.
Yeah, they get their cut. So they haven't even made even that low end budget, which it was more than that. They haven't even made that back.
But wait, Collider said it was already profitable.
Yeah,
fucking Collider are so dumb. They said that about The Little Mermaid as well. They can die. Marketing and promotion are expected to have added easily another $100 million to that bill, and Disney still has to pay the theaters their share of the receipts. Finally, an article that addresses the theater receipts.
Yep.
The situation is far more dire because, according to the Hollywood Handle, Dial of Destiny is not expected to even cross the 400 million mark in global box office receipts. Excuse me.
No way.
Half of what the fourth installment made 15 years ago, when a dollar went a lot further than today. Yeah, because of inflation. I love this. This is brilliant. This is absolute gold. What do we think, ladies and gents? What do we think? Oh, Hulu. They even addressed the Hulu cash call.
Yeah.
Iger, who had his original 2-year Boomerang CEO contract extended last week by 2 more, can ill afford any box office flops because he'll need billions in cash next year to complete the buyout of Comcast's minority stake in streaming platform Hulu. The problem is that Disney's lineup this year, with the possible exception of Guardians of the Galaxy, which barely made any money, is middling at best. Commercial disappointments: Ant-Man and the Wasp, live-action remake of Little Mermaid, Elemental, Dial of Destiny. Wow.
They even mentioned The Little Mermaid here.
They're literally going to sell off linear networks to free.
Yeah. So I'm starting to believe that Fortune and Bloomberg and a few of the other magazines out there
watching us.
They all know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, same things we know that they're only just reporting on now. That's so good. Anyway, Indiana Jones, epic bomb. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait till after the. I'm guessing the rest of this year is going to be very interesting for Disney. We got the investment call
the 8th or the 9th. Yeah, hang on.
That's going to be gold. I can't wait for that.
What's funny is I actually have a performance meeting of my own that day, so I'm going to try to cover that on somebody's live stream with them. We'll see.
Brilliant.
But I'm so excited because I think it's either the 8th or the 9th. It's either the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Yeah. So,
and then between now and the end of the year, we've already been hearing the rumors that they're trying to sell off parts of Disney to try to get cash and stuff for this Hulu purchase. next year. So the rest of this year for Disney is going to be quite exciting from our standpoint to be watching. It's going to be very entertaining. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be a complete shit show, and I
cannot wait.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. Because make no mistake, Disney will be forced to buy Hulu.
Yeah,
they have to do it, and that guy is. They're not going to go light on him on Iger. They're going to go, pay up.
Oh, Brian Roberts? Oh, hell no.
Yeah. He's going to be a beast.
Yeah, August. So yeah, it's official according to people in the chat and the investor relations page. It's August 9th, that Wednesday. So I think it's going to. I think you're going to actually have some financial houses asking some financial questions, because normally it's softball fest, and the
last two were a shit show.
Yeah, well,
this one's going to be. I think this one could be the best one of all time.
We have to try and get Mexican, because Mexican Iron has access to it, doesn't he? We have to try and get him to do it live on a stream with us. That'd be epic.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing if we could do that.
You can have access to it too. You just have to go to the investor relations page ahead of time and just log in.
But I'll let you do that.
If I'm here, we'll see. I hope I'm out of that meeting, because I want to be on that call.
That'd be epic. We've got to try and cover that. Mexican Iron, if you're in the chat, which sometimes you are,
I'll call him after the stream and talk to him about it.
There you go. Do it. Get. So it is written, so it shall be done.
Yes.
Right. We've got another topic right now. No more super chats, guys. We don't have any more to cover, but if you want to send them in, support the show, get a question in on any of the topics we covered, or anything you actually just want to pick our brains about, please do. They literally keep the lights on here. They help our channel out a lot, keep this stream running, because it does get demonetized. It's demonetized right now during the stream going live. It's quite annoying. So yeah, super chats are the way to do that, guys. And please do check out everyone's channels linked in the description box. Nick Talks Entertainment, Culture Casino, and check out my second channel, which is where these podcasts go. Mr. H Reviews, live archives. Please do check it out. These streams don't stay up on the main channel. They get put on there now. So that's where to go. Let's have a look at another interesting snippet of info. It's all about Blue Beetle. So Warner Brothers requested reshoots for Blue Beetle. Now, I've got to say, look, I can understand why they did that, actually. Because at the end of the day, this movie was made on a tiny budget. It was made for HBO Max. It then got obviously pushed for theatrical release. So it probably wasn't in the initial budget pickups, reshoots. I would imagine it probably wasn't. And then they obviously pushed it to, a theatrical release, because they looked at it and went, yeah, all right. But also, it's not going anywhere. So all this nonsense about people going, oh, yeah, maybe if the movie does well. No, it's dead. This is dead on its ass. This is not going to be in anything. Of course it's not. So let's take a look. So Warner Brothers has turned down a reshoot request for this summer's upcoming Blue Beetle. So Hollywood Reporter recently released an article delving into the incredibly tumultuous development of Aquaman 2, revealing that the team behind this summer's Blue Beetle movie requested 2 days. They wouldn't even do 2 days. 2 days of reshoots. But Warner Brothers, that's how much they know it's dead. 2 days.
In today's industry, that 2 days of reshoots would have cost them $100 million.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so they turned it down. And on the other hand, the studio did permit 5 days of reshoots for Aquaman 2 after DC Studio CEO James Gunn provided his input on the troubled latest cut. Blue Beetle has experienced numerous changes throughout its journey. Initially developed and written for Warner Brothers Discovery merger in April 2022. Before the merger, it was filmed under the leadership of Zaslav from May to July. Now it'll be released under the banner of James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Studios. So it's going to be an HBO Max original. Within the declining DCEU, Blue Beetle will now become the first entry in Gunn and Safran's new DCU. But I call bollocks on that.
Me too.
Because why would you... What 2 days? Why would you not do 2 days? That's how little they care about this film. Not even 2 days. Thoughts? Regale me with your thoughts.
What a way to start off the new DCEU with the Blue Beetle flop. Like, really? Like, they literally should have tied this to the Snyderverse stuff and all that, and let this been the last flop for the DCEU, and
last dying breath.
then start off big. Start with the new Batman. Start with the new Superman. Start off with a big. You don't start off with Blue Beetle. Really, guys. That's what you're doing. That's your big game plan. Like, it is so ridiculous. And this thing's literally about to drop August 18th. It's less than a month away, a couple weeks away.
Wow.
And it's going to be such a disappointment. Of course, in their minds, they've probably already written this off as a loss.
It is a loss. It's a huge loss.
Yeah. It might tie in like later on down the road or whatever, but what a terrible decision to start off this new DCU universe with this film. I just don't get it.
Nick, in Nate, you remember when we were reporting that they were doing test screenings and they weren't going well? Isn't it interesting how now mainstream outlets and industry insiders are reporting that they did multiple test screenings months ago and they aren't doing well? And now we're through 3 sets of reshoots, maybe a fourth one on the way. And then we're like, that's what we were saying.
We're saying this for months. Bear in mind, remember, ladies and gents, before Super Mario released, or on the weekend of its release, I'm pretty certain it was before, me and Tom both were going, they're developing a Legend of Zelda movie, and they're also doing, a Nintendo shared universe. Then lo and behold, it's then coming out, a few months later. It's like, bloody stay watching us. Fuck these mainstream medias. They're terrible. Yeah. They're so behind the times. So behind.
I can't
awful.
I can't believe it's like they report the stuff months after and we even get confirmation, like Bounty into Comics and WW Pro and all these other great outlets we work with. They're reporting this stuff too, and they're getting confirmation from people. And it's like, why? Why are you listening to these dinosaurs?
Yeah, so this film has $120 million budget with marketing. You're looking at what?
It's
maybe
easy $200 million. Easy.
In between 2 and 3.
It's so cheap, man.
Yeah, but I don't even see them making that back off of it. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think this thing's gonna do? Do you think it's gonna make its money back?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to make. Well,
it wouldn't have to make that much.
Well, it'd have to do over $400 million, which The Flash couldn't even do, I don't think. So if it doesn't even do that, then it's lost money. Isn't it? So if you're looking at it on the cheapest perspective of this movie's budget, say it's got a combined budget, production plus marketing. Let's be very generous, $200 million, right? Yeah. Because they have released some trailers. They're ramping it up now as well. They've just released another TV spot. So they're paying for stuff. They're getting out there a little bit. So let's just say it's $200 million, right? That's $400 million to start looking at the break-even point. Well, The Flash didn't do that, did it? The Flash, what's The Flash hit so far? I don't think it's...
Oh, globally? 267 million.
Globally?
Yeah, it's already headed to digital. In fact, I think
that's amazing. I thought it was a little bit more than that.
No, worldwide it's at 267 million.
It's not
even
funny.
It's not even at 300 million yet.
I love it.
But they did say they were going to release physical media first before the digital.
That's so release. Good. I love that. That's amazing. Anyway, that's the best thing. Best thing I've heard all stream.
Yep.
Anyway, so that movie absolutely bombed. It's gonna struggle to hit its break-even point. Absolutely.
Or it's not going.
How's it gonna hit $400 million?
But that's not its break-even. Yeah.
Well, no, I said let's be generous. If you're looking at
if we're going low end
production and marketing, I'm saying be very, very generous, right? So then 400 is a break-even point if you've been incredibly generous. 120 million production, 80 million marketing, whatever. It's being super kind.
Yeah,
it won't even do that. Obviously, it's more than that, but that's being super generous. No.
But could you imagine you lived in a world where mega tentpole superhero films, Indiana Jones,
well, we do,
Marvel flops? No, but I mean, like you go back 5 years ago, and you're like, they're going to give us
a little bit more than 5 years ago. So 10 years ago, you thought you heard a report that Marvel movie had flopped, that'd be like, what?
No.
Stop the press! You are joking. You are absolutely joking. Like, I remember back in those days, that was the water cooler conversation.
Yeah.
It was, let's talk about the new Marvel movie. Everyone stayed for it. It was a big thing. It was everything. So, yeah. What's this you just shared?
So I tweeted this this last week. I put, when was the last time this many good movies were all showing at the same time? $6 would have covered the whole experience with soda and popcorn. Now we pay more for worse.
Again.
And here it is.
Oh, give me
Lost
a
Boys, RoboCop, Predator, Full Metal Jacket. Like, when was the last time we had like just a slew of just great films? Like, crap, man, I don't know which one I want to see. Like, I'm gonna have to see one this weekend and then try to go the next weekend to see the next one.
Nah, you be there two a day for the weekend. Two every other day for the weekend. That's what you do for that.
God,
there hasn't been any good movies for a little while. It's just absolute joke.
So these are some important numbers. Indiana Jones in the Dial of Disappointment is at $307 million global right now. As Bounty into Comics pointed,
that's $300 million in
the hole. Yeah, it's
in the hole.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's how we should start looking at it. So how in the hole is this film? Yeah, but honestly, and Bounding pointed out in the chat that Sound of Freedom is about to pass Flash domestic earnings this week.
Funny.
This week.
So funny. I love it. It's super, super funny. Super, super funny. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, Blue Beetle's going to bomb, I reckon.
Yeah.
And now, they've been very shady on whether it's part of the DCEU, part of the DCU, what is it, etc. Who knows?
See, originally when they were talking about it, if I remember correctly, it was going to be part of the DCU with the Aquaman and all that.
Yeah, the implication was, so the implication of this film, when Gunn did his announcement, he phrased it quite intelligently for Gunn, quite ambiguously anyway, that it sounded kind of like it could be kickstarting his new DC universe. But there's no official confirmation on that, and the fact that they didn't even give them 2 days of reshoots, I'd say unequivocally it's not part of it, and they're just letting it die.
Well, I think that they're trying to preserve whatever box office it could collect. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I mean there. But what box office are they going to collect?
Well, I don't know. They're giving.
That's what I find funny.
They're going to give 5 more days to Aquaman and the giant sinkhole of cash. That thing is so far underwater. I have a feeling that it's going to flounder at the box office.
Yeah, I think at this point, because they were talking about it was originally going to be HBO Max thing, and then they're putting it in theaters. I literally think their whole decision making process behind this is they knew it was going to flop. How can we recoup as much money as possible and not take a huge loss? Let's put it in theaters, try to recoup as much as we can, and then we'll drop digital, or then we'll drop physical. And then later on, we'll do digital, like they're doing with the Flash, to try to, make that loss as small as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, like they had it as at least a watchable film. It was watchable, whereas Batgirl wasn't watchable. So they binned that one off completely. Well, I'm just saying, if that's the mindset that they took, that's the decision making.
Well, if they would have eliminated Amber Heard from the film, they would have gotten at least some audience goodwill for
for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hilarious. Ladies and gents in the chat, please do hit that thumbs up button. Again, it's not for the video. The video will get unlisted anyway, but it's to hopefully tell YouTube to notify you that these streams are running. So if you didn't know, this is my live podcast, the Hcast. We're at now number episode 48. Doing really well. Honestly, consistently just goes up and up and up each time now. I'm really, really proud of it. You guys are great. You keep coming back to it. So obviously you enjoy it. But I can't stress it enough. I'm incredibly proud of the viewership numbers. We basically trebled the viewership numbers, you know, from episode 1 to episode 48. We've trebled. You know, we're about like 200 odd. Now we're at 600-700 viewers. It's great. Like, it's awesome. So thank you so much. Everyone's channel is linked in the description box. So please do hit subscribe on their channels, show them some support. It encourages them to keep coming back as well. And I will say, check out the second channel for these streams. So if you missed it, because obviously we go for like a couple of hours normally, they're not like super long, a couple of hours because my back hurts. Check out the second channel, Mistakes Reviews Live Archives. Hit subscribe there, and you can find all the clips, the best bits of the show. Everything goes there, and the full stream. So just check it out. Basically, you won't regret it. I spent a lot of time doing all the video editing for that channel.
I mean, it pays off because I love going back and watching the clips.
They're really good. They're good clips. And they found their audience now as well nicely. They're sort of chugging away, which is good. So that I'm really happy with that. But that does round us out now, guys. But we stream twice a week, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesday is 9 p.m. UK time, and Thursdays is 7 p.m. UK time. We did a little bit earlier on a Thursday because I want to stop streaming roughly around the time the Critical Drinker will start. Mainly so you guys, you know, don't have to leave, or you know, you can just leave and go watch another good stream. Basically, that's kind of the thinking. Don't step on anyone's toes, and you can enjoy it all at the same time. So please do set your reminders. Come back next week, and also come back Sunday when I will be doing a chilled stream, just me hanging out, shooting the breeze, and answering your questions. So check that out. I also have something to unbox. Someone sent me something to unbox, so I will be unboxing something as well. But like I said, that does round us out. Culture, what have you got coming up, buddy?
Believe it or not, I have another live stream coming up on another amazing channel, and I have a feeling I'm going to see all of these people there. I don't know.
We're all going to be there.
One piece of news. If you think Barbie's a hot mess, Mattel's going to give you more. We're going to talk about that on the Pro Show. So, do check that out. We're going over to WDW Pro's channel for the Pro Show just a couple hours from now, right? Or less. It's not that far away. And then...
it's in 10 minutes, isn't it?
Oh, shoot.
No, I think it's in an hour, isn't it?
I thought it was 10 minutes. Oh, my God. Right. Well, whatever. Anyway, Nick, what you got going on?
Let's see. Tonight on the main channel, Echo Base Network, we got a chill stream with Nicky, possibly X-Wing if he gets his internet.
This is 69 minutes. Hey.
Yeah.
69, dude.
69 minutes. Anyway.
Yep. So I will be over on the Pro Show with you guys over at WDW Pro, and then of course our chill stream, Thursday night chill stream on the main channel, Echo Base Network. Hope to see all of you guys there, and then of course this Saturday, our weekly Saturday night live stream over on the main channel.
Excellent stuff. And for me, I've said it all, so I'm not doing it again. Cheers, guys. From me and everyone else, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye now. Peace.
See you guys on the Pro Show.
Peace.